What's up, guys and gals? I'm your host, Mike Pugh of the FPC Virtual Channel, and you're tuning in to a really different video. I haven't been able to put up any videos in a while, and mainly because I've been in research mode and self-teaching mode, basically. So I've been going online and I've been finding this really interesting platform tool for creating actual animated video. So let me get y'all folks to that so you can catch up to what I was doing. I like to pretty much share what I am learning at that moment in time whenever I come across something new that actually is beneficial to me. And what this one is known as, I don't know if y'all folks ever heard of MMD or PMD or PMX or PMXE. So that has to do with some sort of a more like anime, almost like Japanese anime. So let me get y'all folks to the content that I'm talking about so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, it's stemming from Steam, the Steam engine, Steam powered engine for gamers. Here it is, PMD. We're on DeviantArt. This is the PMD/X editor tutorials. So I've been working on this stuff, trying to learn how to actually rig the character that I created using Adobe Fuse. Well, actually not Adobe Fuse, but I used Fuse through Steam. So let me try to get y'all folks to the store.steampowered.com. Now, on this actual Steam engine thing, this gaming platform, I was able to find stuff that I never thought existed. So for people like myself who are trying to explore and trying to find things that work well, it's really a great place for y'all folks out there. Definitely for gamers, but if you're not into gaming, you also can use it to get into design, illustration. It shows right here: design, illustration, animation and modeling, audio production, education, game development, photo editing, utilities, video production, web publishing. It's a lot of stuff that's offered here because a great deal of third-party developers and people who are in differing industries online and even offline have tied into this Steam location through the steampowered.com, and they've offered differing products and services that they have available. So let's check out the animation and modeling side, which will tie into this PMX. Just keep that in mind, that PMX editor thing, because this is where it's going to be headed towards for y'all folks who are looking, to get into this stuff. So as you can see, they have differing offerings being streamed or shown on the screen right here through a slideshow. You can check out different things that are available. So I do that from time to time, and sometimes I find something that's really dope. And at first I didn't realize how dope it was until I dug into it. And this is the one right here called Wakuru. Wakuru is basically in its beta version currently. So what it is, it's an animation modeling type of tool where you can use your webcam, kind of like FaceRig. I don't know if you folks ever use FaceRig, but if you never used any of it, you can check my videos. I'll put links to it in this video as well. Probably in the upper right corner, you see a tiny eye. You can get a link to get to FaceRig to try it out, or you could type FaceRig onto YouTube. And basically what it is, it gives you a 3D animated model where you can actually become the model, where you get to play the model through your webcam, and your mouth motions, it tracks your face, it tracks everything in terms of your physical shape of what your face motions and expressions are making, and your mouth movement, your eyes, your etc. So it basically synchronizes with your face, does face mapping and tracking, and then puts that data into the screen, and then it translates into you controlling the character. And now this is very similar, but using these more like MMD models. So what is MMD? MMD stands for Miku. Here it is, Miku Dance. So basically, you're creating these Miku Dance actual characters. You can create it from scratch, or you can download pre-designed Miku Dance characters. Now, I'm not into doing the characters per se, like creating the dance characters for that purpose so that they can dance on the screen and all that. I'm more into trying to learn how to animate So to get my face to control this character here and then be able to talk behind the screen and stuff like that. So it's like imitating the character's motions and face movements and stuff like that using my face. So that's what this tool does, and it's pretty dope. Now, as you can see here, this is a specific character. Her name is Alice, and I was able to follow the on-screen, more of like the description and the help guide, in order to create a whole different character. So not create a whole different character, but the character was pre-designed by someone else, and then I put it on to the Wakuru tool, and it took me some time to figure out how to do it. So I followed the on-screen instructions and I was able to do it. So I'll show y'all, folks. It's gonna come up on the screen. It is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy what you have to do to actually get it on so you can make it work. So I'm not gonna explain everything here. Let me just click play so y'all folks can see it. It's made with Unity, so it's using Unity. So I had to download a certain version of Unity, and then I had to merge all the files and do different file transfers and all kinds of different converging things and stuff like that. So I'm gonna click confirm. That's basically accepting the terms. But this is the character. It doesn't start with this character. I changed the character. So you can change the character out. See, this is the original character, VRM Alice Solid. And now I got the MMDSU. I don't know if it's gonna go back to her. Let's see if it goes back to her. But it may not work because I moved the file for her character somewhere else. So let's see. Now you're not going to be able to play the character until you do a specific thing. So it's not going to work the way that you want it until you go to System. You go to Select Camera. And look, it's not even working. So the reason why it's not working is because I got the wrong character. This character is the one that actually is active, and like I said, I moved Alice's files. So her files, I didn't want to delete them. I put it here where it says old Wakuru character. So these are her files right here. Alice Solid Skirt Manifest, Alice Solid Skirt. Actually here. And Windows and Windows.manifest. These are the different types of files that you're going to find once you're done. At the tail end, if you wanted to move your character in, if you created your own character, or if you pretty much went in and used a pre-designed character. So let's go in real quick again, and I'll show y'all, folks. Let's hit start. It won't work per se right now because I'm using the webcam to create this video. So what I'm gonna do, I'll be right back. I'm going to basically put her in place of me right now. Where you see I'm at on the screen right now, I'm gonna do all that work behind the scenes on OBS and show y'all folks how it actually turned out. So I'll be right back. Alright, folks, I decided to give y'all a behind the scenes so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So here goes OBS. This is the display capture, whatever. I can turn it off for y'all folks. Let me just turn it off and leave it blank. So that way you can see exactly what I'm doing. So right here, this is the video capture. You see these red dots and the rectangle right here, the small little tiny rectangle. Those, don't worry about that. Just click off in the gray area. Yours shouldn't be there unless you activated that particular source. So if you're brand new to OBS, just keep in mind that source was activated. I just deactivated it. See that? So that's basically how the sources pretty much function on the screen. Wherever you see this black area, that's the sizing of your actual video window. So this is what your video is going to be shown as once you finish recording. If you put start recording, when you go to stop recording, it's basically going to display in not this actual size, but based on the sizing of the pixel quality you chose to set it at. You can go to File, go to Settings, and then go to Video, and then choose a base canvas resolution for base and for output. Make sure they're identical, so that way it works really well. And also the common values for FPS, or frames per second, is 29.97, which is the best for YouTube. So you click apply, click OK, and then that's that. So make sure you have all that set up before you actually get into your video settings. So now let's go to hit the plus. what I'm going to do, I'm going to merge in that actual screen. So what I have to do in terms of the Wakaru right here, the Wakaru I should say. So I'm going to go to a window capture. Basically a window capture captures one of your windows from your Windows PC that's being activated or been activated previously. So what we're going to do is create a new one, leave the default name the way it is because no need to rename it, and it came up automatically as you can see here. So that's pretty dope. Now all I have to do is crop it because you see all this stuff in the left, or I should say to the right of the screen. You don't want all of that there, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to right click in this rectangle here. When you right click, it opens up on-screen options on OBS for that particular source. You can also right click down here on the actual source in the source tray. It brings up the same options. See that? So make sure you're on that source. In order to guarantee you're on that source, you have to click it, and then it should activate those red little markers, whatever, right in the corners, the middle, whatever. So you hit the right click, then you go to filters. So you look for filters, which is down at the very tail end of the actual screen, and then once that filters comes up, you can click the plus, or you can click anything else, but right now there's no filters in there. So this is also how you add the green screen and remove the background and all that. Or how would you say, the green screen should be already added from another source. So wherever you're at, if you're at your house, make sure that you remove your background, not remove your background, but you put a physical green screen in your home and remove that background physically, meaning it blots out everything behind you, so that way all you see is green behind you. So let's hit the plus, and then we're going to go into, we'll add a chroma key, but for now I'm going to just do the crop. So we go to crop, leave that default name, whatever it is, or you can type whatever you want, but I'm going to leave it the way it is. And now what we're going to do is we're going to crop the right side of the screen. Now let's go for like 200. All right, we'll need a little bit more. Let's go 400. So that's good enough for her movement. As long as you have enough space on both right and left of the actual character, you'll be able to work with it. So let me go to 390 or so. All right, so it has to be about 395. Yeah, 400 is perfect. So 400 was the actual sizing you should use. So we're gonna close. Now, one of the problems that you're gonna notice that we're gonna have, let's bring her down and put her down here where my head was at. You don't have a green screen. So how do you get the green screen? You're gonna go to the Wakaru tool, and you're gonna change the background by using this here where it says use sky background. So you click it, it shuts off the sky background and turns this into all green. So once you turn that background into all green, which is the color right here, you can also change the color if you want, but I would leave it defaulted as green because green works with most colors. Alright, so now that you have that background green, it automatically will change over here. So you're going to click the right click mouse button and go to filters, and then what you're going to do, again, while you're in that area where you see the crop that you created, you're going to click the plus. And then you're going to go and choose chroma key, and it's automatically going to apply the green chroma key. Leave the default the way you want. If you wanted it the way it is, or rename it, that's up to you, and click OK. Now it automatically will remove the background because the default key color type is green. How it works with chroma key, it basically removes that solid color pixel, and you also can remove in between pixels by using similarity and smoothness. And key color reduction spill will actually take color out, so that way if you're having problems with the green being like a halo, you can kind of take some of the color out, and then it will look a little bit like gray or something like that. So it kind of makes it fade. So I'm going to set that all the way to the left because we don't really need it. Now as you can see, she's there, she's active, and now I don't need my webcam. So what I'm going to do, since I have this all set up properly, I'm going to deactivate the OBS, this instance that I'm running on OBS. I'm actually running 2 instances on OBS. I'm going to hit the X, and I'm going to deactivate my webcam so that way I could use the webcam on Wakaru, I should say. So how do I do that? Pretty much what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the X, So all the settings on this is going to set the way it's supposed to. So I hit the X, and then on the Wakaru, what I'm going to do is hit the X on this as well. The reason being is because my actual webcam is still tied in to the second instance of OBS. So let me show y'all folks. The webcam, let's see. Oh, the webcam isn't active on this one. So it's good, it's good. So what we're gonna do, let me go back. Where is it at? Here we at. No, hold on. Here, okay. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna reset Wakaru, and we're going to click the X. And then we're gonna go back in. Now going back in will tie my webcam into it because the other instance of OBS is not using the camera. So whenever you're running something to use your webcam, that is going to be taking up the camera feed. So you're going to have to reset it. So shut it off or exit out, and then reset the other tool as well to start off from scratch. And then you can bring in the camera to that particular tool. But make sure you run that tool first. So we're going to click play. And now it should be able to default my camera. So what I'm going to do is drag this down, click confirm, click start, and give it some time. And now let's go to system, and then we're going to change the webcam. Now you're going to notice on Wakaru that you have a black screen here. So don't worry about that. That's not your camera yet. You're going to click change. It's going to turn into an orange screen. Then you're going to click change again. When you click it one more time, it's going to activate your camera. So now you see my face down there. When I first started out trying to do this, it didn't work well. Now you're going to notice also that your face and facial expressions and movements of your mouth or whatever you're trying to do is not rigged to the character, is not tied to the character, so it's not controlling her, right? So why that happens is because you haven't activated it yet. So you have to go to controls and then go to start sync with avatar. When you do that, now you can control her. So as you can see, I'm moving my head back and forth, and you're controlling the character that you chose to actually merge onto Wakaru. So there's other things you can do. I'm not going to play around with all that, but you can use the A and S key and move the arms. You can do all kinds of different stuff. See, I'm moving one arm, saying hi, and then let's see if I can move the other one, and then you can make the arms go down. So you can play around with all of that stuff and try to learn how to use it through facials and hotkeys. So that's how I learned how to do some of that stuff. But like I said, this is the reason why I was away for a while. I wanted to learn how to use this tool as soon as I found it on Steam. So let me pause this section just in case if I lose this, because my computer freezes a lot. So I'll be right back. Alright, so now we're back. Let's bring this back up. So now I want to show y'all folks with that green screen thing. Let me bring it back to the scale that I had it. And I'm going to open up that instance of OBS. We're going to open up another OBS. See, it's going to say OBS is already running unless you meant to do this. So yeah, we're going to launch it anyway. We're going to bring up that other instance of OBS. And now what we're going to do, oh, here we go. So we're going to add that window capture. Click OK. And we're going to do that again because it didn't store it. It should have stored it, but it didn't. Alright, so we're going to add chroma key. Set that over. And we're going to add the filter for the crop. So this is a review for those who are just learning OBS or whatever. So on the right we got 400, like I said, and bam. Now we're gonna move her down. See, I'm doing it a little fast, but now it looks like it's not actual moving. Alright, now it's moving. See? So now say I wanted to actually record using her. I'm gonna switch to her and to the recording of it. So let me end this session of OBS and I'll be right back. Alright guys and gals, so now you should see her down in the right corner, right? So this is pretty dope. Let me see if I can go over here. So now I'm playing her, and hopefully it's actually lip syncing and working the way it's supposed to work. But I just wanted y'all folks to see, you know, what is possible. Now, one last thing I want to do is credit the original creator of that actual character. So let me find it. What I recommend for y'all folks to do when you do that type of stuff, try to you know, pretty much definitely credit who created it, because that's the whole thing about, you know, when you create stuff or when you piggyback on somebody's creation, you definitely want to credit who came up with what. This is the actual page here for Kanahiko-chan. So Kanahiko or Kanahiko-chan is the one who originated this actual design. So this 3D anime known as CU. So I'm gonna put the link in the bottom of my video's description area, and you should also be able to click to it. Actually, yeah, that's the only place I can put it. I can't put it in the actual YouTube, that little eye thing to click. I can't put it there. What I was allowed to do is to edit it, distribution of edited model. I didn't actually edit the model yet, because I guess you can call my merging onto Wakaru an edit, but it's not really an edit. I'm doing this for commercial purposes, but also I'm doing it for the fact that I'm doing educational. So this is an educational use, an educational purpose for folks who want to learn how to do this. So that pretty much protects me from having a copyright strike from this user, or for anybody who wants to try to strike it, because educational use is a fair use. So if you're doing YouTube videos to try to do fair use, make sure it's educational purposes. It's really important. Or like commentary, if you're providing commentary, news reporting type stuff, or maybe like a memes. And if you're doing parodies, you can do that, you know, because parodies are like more about joking over the fact of some other type of viral sensation or something popular, maybe a Hollywood film or something like that, and you're making fun of it, but you're creating a parody which mirrors it in a way, in a very, very jokingly funny, out of control manner. So if you're into that kind of stuff, that's up to you. But I just wanted to put that information out there. Make sure you don't use it against these things that it states here in a commercial purpose for regular use. Don't do that. So I'm doing educational. Here goes the download here, by the way, if y'all folks wanted to use it on this page. So you click the link, that's what I did, and it goes to the download, and the download comes off of it looks like a Japanese page. So you go here and pretty much you click this red button to download it. Once you download it, I'll show y'all folks the whole entire process of how I got it onto Wakaru. I don't remember it by heart, so it's gonna have to be in a different YouTube video so y'all folks can learn how to do it. But there is a process, and it's right here, the MMD model import. So I'll give y'all folks the link to this page as well if you want to learn how to merge Wakaru characters, or how would you say, MMD models onto Wakaru. It's an import custom model or import custom MMD model method. So there's differing things that you have to do, which you have all kinds of different stuff you have to follow. You definitely need Unity, like I stated before. And once you download Unity, you need this file, which is the MMD for McKinnon _beta _ yada yada. So I'll show y'all folks the entire process in that other video, so you folks can learn how to do it. And once you get it down, you can use the characters based on what the rulings say here. You have to go back to the character page. So actually, let me click the back button. Here goes another character I want to work on. This character, whoever created these characters, they have offered us you know, the use to use it as well. But I'm going to be doing educational anyway. But eventually my goal is to create my own characters, which I'm using Fuse through Steam. So I'm using Steam. Let me type in Fuse, or I could type in Adobe Fuse. So this is it here, Fuse Character Animator, and pretty much I'm using Fuse to create characters. So when I create a character, I can merge it into the MMD software for editing. So I'll show y'all folks as well. That's where this came in or comes in, the PMD X editor. So once you learn how to use the PMD X editor itself, and you're able to build your own MMD models, maybe you're using Fuse to create your models, you can actually merge them in. I'm at the phase where I'm learning how to create the bones. So it's going to take me some time, might take me a month or so to learn the full features of the tool and how to actually make the bones work, because the editor is partly in Japanese. I got the American version, so for those who already know how to use it, you can go in and you can go hard and make this stuff work for you. But for those who don't know how to use this stuff, you can learn from a lot of the different things that I scraped up, which is YouTube videos and tutorials on here that I've found, and you can follow that series if y'all folks want to, and eventually you can come up with the character like I have here, but in your own customized versions. If you already know 3D, you're into 3D modeling, you can merge your own 3D models onto the PMD editor and then eventually use those files from MMD as MMD files, so MMD model files. And then once you got all that done, I don't think you have to put it on the MMD tool, which is the what do they call it, the Miku Dance, Miku Dance. I don't think you have to put it on that platform in order to use it and use these files in the import process. I think all you need, what type of file type is, where is it at? I think it's PMD. Yeah, PMD files, I believe. So here goes a lot of the information here that will be transferred. A lot of this stuff is not hard. It's pretty easy to do. You're just importing files and it does all the transfers. The FBX file, which is basically an animation, will be done using the Mecanim file, and it does it automatically using Unity. Once you get into the Unity part, the naming, I think the naming is important, but I don't know if you have to have the naming the same way. I don't think you do need the naming to be the same way, because the model that I moved over doesn't have the same naming structure. So that's one of the things. Naming structures deal with materials and how the materials are going to connect with the vertices and the body parts once you merge the file over, and it should all sync together with the data points that are created through the rigging process. So that's the other thing I have to learn how to do, is rigging on PMX, PMD PMX editor. So once I learn the rigging, which is starting with the bones creation, once you get the bones created, then you have to rig it, and you do material, is it painting? Not material, weight painting. So when you do weight painting, basically it rigs it. So rigging is basically tying bones, digital bones, to vertices, and once they tied to the vertices, whatever is designed on those vertices and laid onto those vertices, including the materials, the clothing / materials that you put on there using your UV maps and normal maps and all kinds of different maps. Once that content is on there, then the data points that you create through weight painting ties in, and then you can move the bones and the vertices will follow and synchronize its motion. So we'll move with the actual vertices. So the vertices are how you create 3D models, pretty much. If you're brand new to 3D, try to get a little bit of that information in your mind, just to kind of get it, prompt up into your mind, so you can learn how certain terminology works with 3D. Once you understand 3D, the basics, then you can get into a lot of this modeling stuff that seems kind of difficult, but actually it just takes a little time. It's not that hard to do, because a lot of it, all I do is drag and drop. I don't have to code anything. None of this stuff is coding. So that's the power. That's some of the powers that are available out here. So I'm going to pause this, so just in case if this computer crashes, I saved this video. And my character model wasn't moving because I wasn't on. Let's see if it's moving. Oh, now it's moving. Well, if my character wasn't moving, I apologize, folks, but sometimes you have to be clicked into the character page on Wakaru, whatever. And let's stop this, and I'll be actually, I'm gonna finish it at this point. I'm gonna end this session. Hopefully y'all folks learned a lot about what I was getting into, why I haven't been able to upload videos. I've been working on this, trying to get things going, and hopefully I can get it wrapped up and have my own characters posted just like this, created through Fuse and using Steam. So we're gonna end this session like this. Actually, let me move her. Whoa, that's pretty cool. It's the actual window capture over here. Let's hold on one second. Let's move her over a little bit. There we go. So we're gonna end this session like this. I really do appreciate y'all folks for showing up. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if y'all folks want to get more. I'll catch y'all folks next time. I really would like to give a shout out to the creator of this character, the CU character, and definitely go to check out that character. And if you want it, if you want to use it based on, like I said, the stuff that I found on that page, click that link in the bottom of the video description area to get to it, and you'll be able to use that character as per what is stated here on the screen, from the DeviantArt Kanahiko Chan page. And that's all I got. I'm out. Peace. Mike Cube, signing off. 3. Let's see if this records and if I can get it to work effectively. I think I have to be on this page first, and then I switch over, and I should be able to still see her moving. And yeah, she's moving. That's cool. So now I figured out why it wasn't working. If y'all folks have this problem, you're trying to get the characters to synchronize to whatever tool that you're on, not tool, but whatever page, web page or window that you're on. What you want to do, go back to Wakaru. Make sure you're sitting on Wakaru first. Once you're sitting on Wakaru, all you got to do is go down to your window screen and click into that actual page, and it should allow you to keep operating on OBS. Let's see. Yeah, it's still operating on OBS. Another way to look at it, you highlight the OBS tool down here and just move the hair and move your head side to side, and you'll be able to see that the character is still moving. And that basically is how you would be able to stay on to you know, keeping the lip synced and the body motions moving based on your face and all of that stuff. And other than that, that's all I got. I'm gonna end this session, and like I said, thanks a lot for watching.